the restart. There's a lock-up from Ollie Bearman. Tyres maybe still a little bit cold. He doesn't want to do that too often. And as you can see, a little bit of debris on the track. Bits of litter and rubbish that have been blowing over the circuit here. The Jeddah Corniche circuit on the shores of the Red Sea. Here's Alex Albon down the inside into turn one, beautifully controlled under braking. Somehow didn't come a cropper with the RB. Might have given it a bit of a tap, but he's still got a battle on his hands with the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, and that did cost him a front wing.
What is he doing?
Well, yeah, watch Magnussen there. Watch his hands. And I think he could have been a bit more generous there, because the wall on the right side for Alex isn't moving. You do have to be a bit more respectful into the racing room.
This is the lock-up from Ollie Bearman into turn one. He was trying a move, wasn't he, down the inside there.
Got it done.
He did get it done. Very nice indeed. That's when he got ahead of Yuki Tsunoda.
And that's for next position. He's now behind Zhou Guanyu, who's on a different strategy, on different tyres. So I think Bearman's got a good chance here to jump ahead of Zhou as well.
Right, some news then from race control, who have noted that potential unsafe release between Perez and Alonso. They are now investigating that in the stewards' room. They've also noted Lando Norris for an incorrect starting position. Did he jump the starts? I think that might get pushed towards the stewards as well. Race control spot the incidents, and then the stewards, if it gets past to them, decide whether there's a punishment or not.
So if Norris and Hamilton drag the stint out properly into the early 30s, they'll have less than 20 laps to do on the second stint. They could go to a soft instead of the hard tyre, and that could work out quite well. There could be some excitement in the second part of this race, because they'll have fresh softs compared to people on quite used hard tyres if we get into the early 30s.
Yeah, and whilst they might think they've taken a bit of pain at this stage of the race, don't forget there's always the potential for another safety car a little bit later on. Norris hasn't got a new set of softs, neither has Lewis Hamilton, sadly, but the set of softs that they would be putting on probably only done 3 laps.
Yeah, and on this track it does seem like the soft tyres are holding on. I tell you what though, that McLaren's got pace. Norris in free air is doing a fantastic job here of just pulling away. As I said, his race isn't necessarily with Max, he's going away. So most importantly, look at the gap between him and Hamilton and Perez. That gap to Lewis now, 2.5 seconds.
Race control for us today is Bernie Collins. We'll go to her in 2 seconds.
Well, he didn't give me enough space, so I mean, he just told stewards about it.
Yeah, so he got squeezed into the wall.
Right, Magnussen looked to be clearly moving his steering wheel towards Alex Albon, but here comes Max Verstappen in a straight line with DRS down the main straight. Lando Norris was leading this race. Max Verstappen is back in the lead of this race. Lap 13 of 50, and whilst Verstappen takes the lead, Sergio Perez getting past Lewis Hamilton and up into 3rd place.
33 kilometers an hour faster the Red Bull down the straight with the DRS open into the headwind, of course. Hamilton's going to start coming under pressure from Charles Leclerc, of course, his future teammate. But watch Piastri, Crofty. I think he's doing a great job here of hanging on to the back of this Ferrari Mercedes train. And crucially for him, remember we were saying earlier in the first stint, he wasn't breaking away from Alonso. He has done. He's broken Alonso's DRS. That is a very, very good job by Oscar Piastri so far.
Yeah, tyre management, something he wanted to build on and learn from his rookie season last year, and that seems to be working well currently. On board with Charles Leclerc, race control, Bernie Collins.
Yeah, so a few things I was going to pick up there on Crofty. You know, we had McLaren saying they needed free air. What a free air opportunity for Norris, but that hard tyre has come in now. That is a stronger tyre and should be, and those that have hung it out on the medium are going to start to suffer positions as we go on through this race. We've seen it many, many times. Alonso's been there, done that. He will manage his pace at the start of this stint to have a better tyre at the end.
He certainly will. The stewards are looking at Magnussen and Albon. Kevin Magnussen for causing a collision, and Kevin saying he might have floor damage. I want to see the front wing of Alex Albon's Williams and see what damage got caused to that as well. And we're on board with one Ferrari, and we're watching another one at the same time. Charles Leclerc, who's currently in 5th place, and Ollie Bearman, who is gaining on Zhou Guanyu at all times. He's stopped during the safety car period. Zhou Guanyu hasn't. Ollie Bearman breezes past him and into the top 10 going into turn 1. Ollie Bearman in his first race in Formula 1, currently on lap 14 in the points.
Great drive so far from him, and I think he'll clear Hulkenberg pretty quickly as well. That's going to be important for him. He doesn't want to get stuck behind those of the mediums. As Bernie was saying before, you can see the gaps now coming down to Hulkenberg.
Right, let's go to the Williams pit wall. James Vowles, the team boss, is with us. James, how much damage on Alex Albon's car? We saw bits of carbon
Hamilton
fibre
had
flying
struggling
off.
on mediums from the start.
Yeah, it's reasonably substantial. It's hard to tell the exact number because we're in traffic, but it's enough that he's struggling to get around some of the corners.
Stewards are investigating that. We'll see what the decision is. Logan Sargent currently running in 17th. Was it an obvious choice to pit both cars behind the safety car?
Time will tell on that one. I think you'll see the cars out there on medium will have to come in about 10 laps time, and then they'll sort of move themselves towards the back of the field. And it's just a question of how much they get overtaken in the meantime. I think certainly on the mass before we went in, yeah, it was a straightforward choice.
So James, in a normal race, you don't foresee, of course, any more pit stops. Are you guys just hoping and praying for a late safety car or a red flag somewhere?
I think with where we are, yeah, we're out of position clearly with the cars. We have damage of Alex, so one of the ways
Than last year, and that seems to be working well currently. On board with Charles Leclerc, race control, Bernie Collins.
Yeah, so a few things I was going to pick up there on Croft 8. You know, we had McLaren saying they needed free air. What a free air opportunity for Norris. But that hard tyre has come in now. That is a stronger tyre and should be. And those that have hung it out on the medium are going to start to suffer positions as we go on through this race. We've seen it many, many times. Alonso's been there, done that. He will manage his pace at the start of this stint to have a better tyre at the end.
He certainly will. The stewards are looking at Magnussen and Albon. Kevin Magnussen for causing a collision.
At 0.6 behind. Good job. Set the Astronaut's car at 0.6, just remember to drink. copy that, Lewis. Just focus on the lifting post, that does pay benefits.
And reminder, mode AD 4 tires, turn 7 mainly.
Turn up no high speed.
Yeah, copy Lewis. GPS agrees.